All right. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic we are going to talk about is Tesla offering 4.49% financing. And if they are, it is going to change a lot of different affordability models and calculations, and will do a lot for Tesla sales, Model 3 and Model Y, or really any of the model sales in the near future. So we'll go through some screenshots of what I've got. And of course, you can take it for whatever it's worth. And also, if you're out there, if you've just applied, let us know. Are you getting 4.49% financing through Tesla Direct? We want to hear about it and share it so we can share it with everybody else. But before we get into any of that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link, where you can get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there. It has links to all the best credit unions and interest rates and banks. Some of them even as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. But definitely check it out. Link down below, the Patreon link. And shout out to my latest Patreon members. We got Brian, Steven, Jason, H and Keisha, Warren, David, Jackie, Marlon, JP, Naseth, and Fofoot. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting. If you want to check it out, Patreon link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. So we discovered this yesterday, and so I've done some digging to see if it actually could be potentially true. But this is what we know, right? If you go to Tesla's beautiful website right now, where they've added this guy screaming at you when he's driving on a Tesla vehicle. But if you go to the Model Y section, if you go to any vehicle, actually, you go to order, this is where you can see where you can build any of the vehicles you want. And of course, we know that there was a massive price cut pretty recently for the Tesla Model Y in the amount of $3,000 across the board. And of course, the Model Y qualifies for the $7,500 federal tax credit. So of course, you get that when you file for your taxes next year. And after you build the vehicle, after you configure it and everything, you can then choose how you want to pay. Of course, this is important if you're going to pay with cash, or you're going to lease, or you're going to use Tesla financing. But if you use any sort of outside bank, credit union, or anything like that, where we promote on the channel that you should use, you can really choose anything you want here, but you have to email Tesla after the fact, so that you can switch your order to outside financing with a credit union. But this is what we know, right? If you go to this page, if you go to the loan section page, you can really choose any sort of term you want, anywhere from 36 months up to 72 months. And if you switch it, you can see the rate, or the APR financing rate, does not change at any sort of capacity. You can see down to 36 months, it still stays at 5.59%. Even changing it to 72 months, it's still 5.59%. But this is what happened yesterday. Of course, we did our daily streams here. We got on and did our usual thing and talked about, well, yesterday we talked about how to get the best monthly payment for a Tesla Model Y. So if you want a monthly payment for a Tesla Model Y in the $647 range, definitely check out yesterday's video or today's post. But anyways, in the stream, we actually had Powell's son come in, a viewer and watcher of the channel, and you can see right here, down here on the bottom right, he started commenting, and what he or she actually noticed and said is that they've got a Tesla on order, and they've got a Model 3 that they're about to take delivery next Friday, and they actually said they got 4.49% from Tesla, by the way, through TD. So let's unpack this statement. First of all, 4.49% is about over 1.1% less than the current financing rate that Tesla's got posted right here on the screen at 5.59%. So that's a pretty big rate drop. And so the second thing that we can unpack from this is through TD. So if you don't know what TD is, that's of course TD Bank. And actually, we did not know that TD Bank was actually a financing partner through Tesla, because because, you know, we've heard of the main ones. We've heard of Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, that probably a lot of you out there have either financed or have gotten through the approval process and got through that and got it approved or not. Because going through Tesla financing is actually one of the easiest way, the smoothest and easiest, most possible way to take delivery of your Tesla vehicle and go through, of course, their Tesla financing system. And then they partner you up with partner banks. That's Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and also now TD Bank. And so, of course, we had to go fact check this. That's where I found this thread on Reddit, in which another person 3 months ago actually got their Tesla taken delivery and everything and financed through TD Bank. And so it seems to be legit. TD Bank is a big bank. I actually used to have an account with them. TD Bank is, you know, actually around, and they've got locations and everything. And this would be very interesting if Tesla has started to now partner with TD Bank in a more maybe increased capacity and also potentially offering lower rates. And so 4.49%, yes, that's still a little bit on the higher end versus some of the other options out there. Of course, we've got credit unions, some of them as low as 2.99%, but really easily attainable for everyone else at 3.74%. Down below in the description, the Patreon link if you want to get access to the full list and guide down below. But 4.49%, I mean, that's a less than 0.75 or 1% spread from what's essentially the best. So I could see why some people, if they go through Tesla financing, if they go through the process with Tesla, I could see them going for that rate at 4.49% because it's not that much higher or lower than what is the best out there. So if this is the case, first of all, if you just bought a Tesla and used Tesla financing at 4.49%, or if you're in the application process right now and you just got 4.49%, please drop it in the comments or drop it in the live stream. We want to hear from you. If you can send me a screenshot, that'd be even better so we can get some proof and see what's actually out there. But I mean, as you all know, we are all about buying a Tesla, getting the best possible rate. And so once I heard it first, I want to definitely let the rest of you out there know that it is out there. So if that is 100%, it's 100% true. Chris Young, looks like you just came in, just got financing through Tesla for TD Bank yesterday for 4.49%. Chris, thank you for jumping in and posting that. If you could send me a screenshot of that, we'd love to highlight it. Maybe if you want to send it to my Twitter DMs, I'll show it right here on the screen right now and show it to everybody, the screenshot. But that's incredible news. Congrats to everybody that's able to get that for sure, because that really can change the game. And that's good to see that Tesla is starting to get into the Tesla financing game, or maybe even pushing some of their partners to give better rates, because at the end of the day, it's an affordability issue, right? Everybody looks at, I definitely look at monthly payment, and I do the calculations to see if it actually makes sense to buying a Tesla. And so if it's actually coming out there at that low rate, then that is going to be big news for Tesla and everybody buying a Tesla at the end of the day. Of course, there are still other banks out there where you can get lower rates, like 3.7 to 2.99 through credit unions and things like that. Patreon link down below in the description where you can get access to the full list and guide that we have and that anybody can join, but definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. We can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the call, or after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks out there to get the best possible rate on financing your Tesla. Some even as low as 2.99 to 3.7%, but definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. And as an added benefit to all Patreon members, I do respond to all DMs or direct messages at a certain level. So definitely, if you want to join and ask me a quick question, you can easily do that down below in the Patreon link. But thank you everybody for supporting, and let's get into the next topic. Water break. Marks, thanks for coming in. We'll actually jump right into that, because we've, just like how we did a video yesterday about the Model Y and getting a $647 payment, we're going to do the same thing with a Model 3. So we'll show you the differences between length and credit scores and rates and things like that for sure. Aiden, thanks for coming in. Hatch, Chris Young, Paul, thanks for coming in. Paul, always coming in. Thank you for supporting and hitting the like button and all that stuff. But let's get into our next topic, and I'm going to show you all the sauce. We're going to go through it step by step. In this next topic, we're going to go through how to get a Model 3, a brand new Model 3 for $547 a month with zero down. I'll take you through my exact process, my exact steps, even give you the financing partner that I would use and also give you another option, and we'll go through all of that. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link, where you can get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there with all the low interest rates. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. But let us get into this. So of course, Tesla Model 3, a very fantastic car. We owned one. That was the first Tesla we ever got. We've had the Model 3, the Model Y, S, and X. And Model 3 is definitely a good around town vehicle. Maybe not for someone that has like some sort of family, but definitely if you're using this as a daily driver to get you to from work or anything like that, really, really good car. And this is what we know. This is what we can tell you. Tesla Model 3 starts at $39,990, and there's a Model 3 Performance at $52,990. The Model Y or Model 3 Performance qualifies for the full $7,500 federal tax credit, but the Model 3 Standard Range only qualifies for half, only qualifies for $3,750 tax credit. And I'll show you the exact income limits on where you can actually reap the full benefits on that and give you a little bit of an explainer. But there's also a video on the channel that goes through the whole thing on how the tax credit actually works. But we'll talk, you can definitely check that out. But Model 3 long range, it exists, but doesn't exist right now. You can't order it, but they do pop up in inventory. You can find one, try and lock it down and secure it and take delivery. But before we get into all the different financing, I did want to touch on it. It is through Tesla financing, 5.59%, but I'm going to show you how to do a little bit better, because what's the thing here is that the 72-month term, that's the max you can go with Tesla, but you can find financing partners that can go just a little bit longer, which would then result in a low monthly payment. So taking a look at here, we're going to go with a Model 3 Standard Range rear-wheel drive, because that's basically, to get the lowest monthly payment, you have to pick probably the cheapest vehicle out there. And so what I would actually do is I would go to waitingfortesla.com. This is a third-party aggregator site where you can see all the different inventory that's available across the different countries or across the different states. And you can see right here on the middle of the screen, there is a Model 3 brand new 2023 gray with black interior, and it's got a $1,500 discount. You might be asking me why is there even a discount on it? Because this is actually a demo showroom vehicle. You will still be the first owner of the vehicle. You'll still be the first owner titled, but because it's been sitting in the showroom or even in the test drive fleet, it has a $1,500 discount. And so this is what I look for. I look for vehicles just like this, maybe a little bit less miles, maybe about the same, but I look for discounts anywhere from $1,500, $2,000, or even $3,000 off, because that's what's going to happen. I mean, I would also say maybe if you are on the fence of buying a Model 3 right now, maybe just wait just a little bit longer, but we'll talk about that at the end. But the next step is this. I'm going to give you two financing partners that you can go through. But before we get into that, this video is actually sponsored by Tenet. Down below in the description is a Tenet link where you can actually use to finance your vehicle or refinance your vehicle through Tenet. Tenet can get you a lower monthly payment because they allow you to defer a portion of your vehicle loan all the way to the end, maybe even that $7,000 or $3,750 tax credit, so which then results in a lower monthly payment. Tenet partners with credit unions and other banks out there to provide you this sort of access. So there's a strategy out there where you get Tenet, you finance your vehicle through Tenet, you push off that $7,500 or the $3,750, and then get the tax credit next year, and then pay off the whole thing or pay off Tenet, the portion loan with that. So definitely check it out. Tenet link down below in the description. And also thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and a bunch of other videos this month. But we're going to go for the long term. I don't really know how long of a term Tenet actually can go to, but I'm pretty sure they can go a pretty long term as well, or actually it says down there at 72 months. But we want that extra long term because we want a low monthly payment. So this is where Labor Credit Union comes into the fold here. So Labor, we financed our most recent Tesla with Labor, and you can see right here on the screen, they've got, it's not too crazy of rates when you look at it in terms of in line with Tesla, but we've got 88 months at 5.99%. So going back to the vehicle that we found right here on the screen, which is a brand new Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive at $39,490. We're going to use 8% on top of that because that's basically an average across all states between sales tax, DM fees, and all that jazz and things like that. So essentially $39,490 times 1.08, so 8% and all that stuff. That's going to give us an estimated out the door of $42,649, coupled with labor credit union at 5.99 for 88 months. That's going to give us, if we throw it into our handy dandy auto loan calculator, you can see right here in the middle of the screen, that gives us a monthly payment of $547.29. You can see in the down payment box, I put $3,750 because that's the tax credit you will get for buying the vehicle if you qualify with these certain income limits to qualify for the full $3,750. But I can tell you this for surely, if you are buying a Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive and you're getting approval for a Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive, you're most likely going to reap the full benefit of the tax credit. And this is why. Here's the calculation for that. This is Smart Asset Income Tax Calculator. You can see right here, I've got a single earner that's making $46,000. This is W-2 income where you get paychecks every single month and all that stuff. Well, what's actually withheld from each paychecks is federal tax. And you can see right here for the federal tax, it's about an amount of $3,761. And that's essentially equal to the $3,750 tax credit that you will get back from this. Of course, I'm just a guy on YouTube that loves talking about buying Teslas and getting the best deal and really good financing, but I would 100% consult a CPA at the end of the day. But essentially what this is, and I've also bought EVs in the past and redeemed this credit and federal tax credit year after year. So you can take a look on the screen. You basically have to make $46,000, which you're going to have to make that either way to get approved for a Tesla, because you have to have a 1-to-1 ratio typically with most banks. And what that means is, like, if the price of the vehicle is $46,000, you have to make income of $46,000 to even get approval. But I mean, of course, there's ways around that as well. But anyway, so $46,000 nets a federal tax of $3,761. So you should be getting that back. And then I put it down on the vehicle, which nets a monthly payment of $547.29. Hopefully that's a quick run through. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Definitely comment down below in the description if you've got some questions, or if you want some customized one-on-one support. Definitely check out the Patreon link down below in the description, where you can schedule a call with me. You can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that has lower rates than the 5.99%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. But hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully that clears it up. At the end of the day, though, if you do not need a car right now, if you do not need a Tesla Model 3 specifically, I would probably hold off and wait till June, because taking a look on the screen right now, this is a Tesla inventory chart for Model 3. Shout out to MattYoung.net. And you can see Model 3 inventory is at a very, very, very high inventory count right now. And usually what this means when inventory is this high and this in stock, promotions, discounts, and all that stuff will follow shortly soon after that. So, if you can wait, definitely wait till June. We'll talk about why in our next topic after this. But if you can wait, definitely wait it out if you can. Water break. Thanks for coming in, everyone. And I see all the live chats. D, thanks for coming in. Marks, we'll get through all the live stream comments. But if you're just joining in, we streamed yesterday, and it seems like Tesla has partnered up with TD Bank to offer financing for Tesla. And this is definitely news to me. I've never heard of it before, but this is new because, typically Tesla goes through Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, and a new financing partner of TD Bank might be very interesting. And from what we heard yesterday off of a stream, and also a couple of you Chris, you came in and said that as well, but it seems like this is not confirmed yet, but maybe, if we believe Chris, it seems like Tesla through TD Bank is now offering 4.49% APR financing for your Tesla. So if you've received that, if you were able to get that, please drop it in the comments, or the comments down below or the live stream, because we want to we want to educate everyone else there because 4.49 is pretty good, especially if you're a first-time buyer buying through Tesla. You want an easy process, then definitely 4.49 is very, very good at the end of the day. In this next topic, we're going to talk about when is the best time to buy a Tesla. And of course, the best time to me is when all the promotions, all the discounts, all the incentives are out. And we'll talk about what are some of those incentives that could be potentially coming back. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there. So with interest rates, some of them even as low as 2.99 to 3.7%, but definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. But let us get into this. So of course, right now, I'll give you some of the explanation of when's the best time to buy a Tesla. And the best time is pretty simply the end of every single quarter. Tesla works in quarterly fashions, in which the first and second month of the quarter, they try and ship vehicles as far from California in the factories. And so at the end of the quarter, that's when they need the sales. They want to get the units and they want to ramp up and all that stuff to try and get the delivery count by the end of the quarter. And so end of the quarter is March. We've got June, September, and of course, December. And we'll go through an example of what promotions might exactly come back because there was promotions that happened not too long ago. The first example is, of course, demo discounts and inventory discounts. This is where you can see on the screen, we've got Waiting for Tesla pulled up. Shout out to TJ and the team, because there's 167 brand new Tesla Model Ys available in the country, but right now there's 7 of them with demo discounts. And what this could be is these vehicles could have sat in the showroom or been in the test drive fleet, and they could have extra discounts on top of them. So here's a great example. This Tesla Model Y, only 57 miles on it. All these are still brand new. You'll still be the first owner as registered, and it's got a $290 discount for really essentially no reason at the end of the day. But usually at the end of the quarter, at the end of every single sales quarter, these discounts get ramped up at a pretty high level. I'm talking $2,000, $3,000, maybe even $4,000, $5,000 I've seen at the end of the quarter. But Tesla doesn't release those until the end of the quarter, and they specifically release them in pretty much hub areas where there's lots of inventory in certain locations. So if you can wait, I would always recommend trying to wait at the end of every single quarter, because that's when incentives like that are actually going to roll out. And so we put a poll out there on the channel, and this is where I asked, what incentive would you like Tesla to give you? This first one, a low subsidized interest rate, I've never really seen in the United States, but it has happened in other countries out there. But you never know. Tesla might get super creative in this next end of quarter, and so we could potentially see that. But free supercharging, you probably know exactly what that is, and that actually happened not too long ago, actually in December. So this is an article from Tesla Oracle. You can see the headline says Tesla offers 10,000 miles of free supercharging and a 7,500 discount on the Tesla Model Y and the Tesla Model 3, delivered till the 31st of December. Of course, this was a completely different time back then. Vehicles were $13,000, $10,000 more than they were now. But this goes to show that Tesla, it's in their wheelhouse to do promotions and incentives like that. So I can easily see, right now we've got free supercharging for Model 3 and Model X. And Model 3 and Model X inventory are at pretty high levels right now still. And so I could easily see Tesla bringing back free supercharging for the Model 3 and the Model Y. Maybe not such a crazy capacity like 10,000 for 2 years, maybe even like 5,000 or 3,000, just to give a little taste out there. But I could easily see that coming back in June for people to take delivery ASAP by the end of June. And now the next one is free option credit. That's like a little bit of an unknown one. What that is like if you've got an order for a black, white, or a white, black Model Y, which is like a base base one with no added extra options with the 19-inch Gemini rims. But let's say it's mid-June and there is a white black with the induction rims or the white interior, but they want you to take delivery by the end of the month. What they'll do is they'll actually waive that option fee for you and try and see if you can take delivery ASAP. So of course that's an unknown one. That's a little bit more case-by-case scenario with your Tesla advisor or people at this store, but that has been done before in the past and also near the end of each quarter. And the last thing, of course, is more discounts. That's specifically the demo inventory, the showroom inventory of vehicles. And this is where we see a ramp up at the end of every quarter with $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 discounts on basically brand new vehicles at the end of the day for vehicles. So if you can wait, if you don't need a car right now, if you can be patient, I would say wait it out till June, maybe even throw in an order to lock in the price of whichever build you want. And I would say if you can do that, then that would be a very, very great time for you to buy a vehicle. But the other flip side is the Model 3. Model 3 has got a lot of inventory right now. You can see on the chart, it's really going up there. So if you can, I would say don't put an order in for a Model 3, just wait it out, because I really feel like the Tesla Model 3 standard range is going to get some sort of haircut price discounts in the near future, maybe even in the $2,000 to $3,000 range very, very soon, or maybe even free supercharging. Who knows? Because there's a couple things going against the Model 3. Of course, there's that Highland rumor refresh that's on the horizon. So there's a lot of things that could be certainly coming out, but hopefully that makes a lot of sense for you. Hopefully that makes interesting stuff. We're going to jump into our next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that I use to get the best financing rate on your Tesla. Some even as low as 2.99, but more realistically attainable 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below, the Patreon link. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon member DMs or direct member messages at a certain level. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. Water break. Thanks for coming in, Paul. Thank you. Good evening, Paul. Good evening to you. Chris Young, I just got financing Tesla through TD Bank yesterday at 4.49%. Yeah, congrats to you, Chris. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It seems like a lot of people, or there's not a lot of people, there is a sliver of people out there that are getting this really low interest rate at 4.49%. So thank you for sharing that. And hopefully a bunch of you out there are also going to be able to get that low rate. That's for sure. And anybody out there that has just bought a Tesla or just place an order, definitely check out our Tesla part accessory discount partners or partners down below in the description. We got Tamai, Jawa, Tesla, MAGBAK, and of course 3D Mats USA. Of course, you can use promo code Dennis. And thank you all for using the codes and supporting. All the links are down below in the description. Mine was 5.49% as well. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the standard. I mean, 5.49, even that is still better than what's on the Tesla website, because the Tesla website says 5.59. So if you're getting 5.49, you're still saving a little bit from at least what the website is. But of course, the best rates are at the Patreon link down below in the description. We got approved, but a couple days ago through TD, it's 5.49. Interesting. Thanks for sharing. I wonder what the difference between length of loan and credit scores are getting between those different rates. Yeah, 100%. It could be definitely go around for sure. I mean, the lower the score, the higher the rate, and of course the lower the term, potentially it could be higher the rate as well. I wonder if trim affects the APR. We got a Model Y performance. I don't think so, but maybe. I mean, depending on the purchase price versus the VIN, I could see banks getting a little antsy. But I mean, if Tesla keeps dropping the price like this crazy month after month, quarter after quarter, I feel like banks are going to get a little smart and be like, we don't want this much risk, because you're basically devaluing the vehicles overnight. But who knows? I wonder what will happen when the rates, if the Fed increases another 2.25 on Wednesday. They're going to go up for sure. Chris Young, what's TD Bank? TD Bank is through Tesla. It's a financing partner. TD Bank right here on the screen, D. Christopher Wilson, I got 5.49% through TD Bank. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so maybe, some people are getting that low 4.49, but it seems like most maybe are getting 5.49. But I guess the question I have for all of you that have gotten 5.49, have you purchased a vehicle before? Do you have like pretty stellar credits? And I guess what term? Also, which Model Y? Model Y long range? I found 3.24 locally. Deepak, no, congrats to you. 3.24 is a sick rate. That's definitely a good, very fantastic rate at the end of the day. To get the tax credit, do I need to have me and Spouth on the Tesla documents since we filed taxes jointly? Nope. Actually, you're perfectly fine. I just bought a Tesla, and you don't have to have both at the end of the day. What's your guys' credit score? It's a good question, everybody out there. That's a good poll question. I don't know if people will answer. I mean, people might answer it accurate. What's your credit score? What should we do? 700 plus, 600 to 699, 500 to 599. Let's see. Let's poll the community and let's see what your all credit score is. I think to get prime rates, you have to be like 720, 730. I think that's the threshold. But then also there's a difference between like Credit Karma and like actual credit score, I guess, like Equifax, Experian. But yeah, tough at the end of the day. You definitely, if kind of my rule of thumb is if your Credit Karma says like 750, knock off like 5%, I guess. And if it says 750, you're really like a 720, maybe even like 2%. I don't even know what the math is on that. But yeah, let's see, water break. In this next topic, we're going to talk about Tesla's order backlog, and it potentially might be in trouble. Of course, shout out to Troy Teslike in front what we were actually going to take a look at. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there. But definitely check it out, link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. Of course, shout out to Troy Teslike, an avid Tesla production and delivery analyst and predictor. Quote, hi everyone, based on my calculation, Tesla's order backlog was 72,000 units on April 15th, down from 102,000 units on March 31st. Of course, this is global backlog across the world, but if you don't know what order backlog is basically how many people out there have an order for a Tesla. And of course, Tesla queues up those orders and then tries to deliver them. But what stuck out to me, I mean, this of course, this is big number across the global countries is, definitely an interesting one because the last time these order backlog was as low as what it was, 72,000, was in December of last year, which was a crazy time to buy a vehicle. But jumping down here, if we take a look at the USA column, this is where it gets very, very interesting. You can see right here on the screen, April 15th, we've got a estimated order backlog of around 29,000 units, which is very, very low, maybe even as low as what it was in January 31st of this year, right around those price cuts. So definitely, Tesla, I feel like likes to be at a higher backlog than this. You can see all throughout last year, pretty much they had orders in excess of 100,000 units on order over throughout last year. So they probably don't like seeing these low numbers of order backlog. And that's probably why a lot of these price cuts have been coming in the near recent times. You can see down here, we can see the order backlog based upon factory and all that stuff. And you can see the estimated current wait time for a Model Y long range from Fremont, Texas is about 38 days. And that pretty much lines up with the Tesla website. If you go, of course, to the Tesla pages on the vehicle, you can see you'll basically get a vehicle this May or June, which is 1 to 2 months from now, which is around 38 days. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. And so, with these low estimated order backlogs, is there going to be more promotions in the near future? Are there going to be more incentives? 99.999% thinks they are, and those next time frame is going to be June. So that's why I'm kind of sticking to it. I'm saying if you can wait, definitely try and wait, or whatever you can do to try and take delivery by June. Of course, Tesla's probably not going to like me saying that, but all about trying to get the best deal and the best financing rate. So if you can wait till June, that is probably going to be the next time, unless, Tesla pulls a Hail Mary and they pull incentives ahead first, which, they've done in the past, and they definitely will be. So if you're waiting on the sidelines right now, if you want a deal, another potential promotion could be on the near future. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel and get access to the best Tesla buying out there, Tesla buying guide out there with interest rates as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. Can I get a good interest rate from Tesla if I have a score 820? Yeah, definitely. I mean, 700 plus, you're pretty much good. Like 740, you're pretty much good at the end of the day. But also, you gotta have good income, good credit history, and on top of that, if you're like 700 and you've got good auto loan history, then you'll be getting a good interest rate. But good interest is all relative, right? Like some people think 5.59% is good interest. Checked my Credit Karma, it's 801. I wonder what APR I had. What would be my APR? I had a TD before with Subaru. John, if you've got a previous auto loan, then you'll pretty much get good prime rates. So you'll probably get maybe 4.49 through TD to 5. Nice pull. My credit score is definitely over 700. Yeah, 700. I mean, you can get approved in like the 6 to 700, but anything lower, it gets really, really, really dicey. So really tough. But it's still, if there's a will, there's a way, and maybe sometimes it might be worth it to not try and hit the credit, not try and buy the vehicle, wait 2 to 3 months, clean up the credit, and then try again at the end of the day to buy a vehicle. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking down below in the description or even the live streaming comments. But really interesting stuff. If you've just joined, if you've just popped in, it seems like Tesla, number one, has picked up a new financing partner that we've never seen before in the past, because we've seen what Tesla financing go through Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, but it seems like TD Bank has come into the fold for financing. This is a post from Reddit about 3 months ago. I can't believe we actually missed this, but TD Bank, of course, is a big bank across the United States, and some people in the live stream comments today and also yesterday have been reporting that they were able to get 4.49%. You can see right here on the right side of the screen, 4.49% through Tesla financing through TD Bank, which is pretty solid at the end of the day. Of course, there are lower interest rates that you can get through credit unions and banks and things like that. Patreon link down below in the description. You want to get access to the full list of all the best credit unions and banks, some of them even as low as 3.7 to 2.99%, but 4.49%. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Going through Tesla financing is an easy process. You just click, fill out the stuff. 4.49 versus 3.7%. Maybe that savings isn't worth it at the end of it, but actually let's do the math. So of course we've got a 42.6 out the door Model 3 standard range, where we ran the payment and got a monthly payment of $547 a month and gave you all that full steps. But we'll run this. So, okay, we'll do 0 down. We'll do 72 months at 4.49% through TD Bank. And that's going to net you a payment of $676 with a total interest of $6,081 over the course of the full loan if you kept it all the way through 72 months. So, of course, we'll take a look at that and memorize that on the screen. But now, if you were able to get the credit union of 4.24% for 72 months, it's 3.74% for 60 months. So I guess I should let's do this again. So 60 months, 4.49%. Let's see what the monthly payment is going to be like. Okay, $794, definitely pretty high up there. And so 60 months, 4.49% versus 60 months, 3.74%. This for the first one at 60 months, 4.49% was total interest of $5,045. Now, if we were to jump through the hoops, go through the credit unions, it's easy. It's very easy to join and anybody actually qualifies, but you get the 60 months, 3.74%. That's going to save you $900 or actually $800 in interest and net you a monthly payment of $780 a month. So really like $17 difference or $15 difference at the end of the day. Of course, you are saving $800 in interest if you kept the loan all the way for the the full 5 years or 60 months. So really got to figure out, is that actually worth your time and effort? If you're a interest rate hunter like I am, then yes, it is. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not at the end of the day. Provoke, thanks for coming in. Welcome back. Tesla reduced rates. Yeah, it seems like people are getting 4.49%. It's not posted on the website, but it seems like it might be actually possible. Is TD Bank only available via Tesla? I don't see auto loan option on their site. It seems like it is only available through Tesla. Mine was Tesla Financing LLC. Nice. Yeah, I've heard of that. And hopefully, I mean, Tesla did come on the earnings call and say that they're going to try and do more of financing. So hopefully they can subsidize more rates. Interesting that TD Bank's auto loans have horrific reviews online. Forbes gave 0.6 out of 5 LOL. I think all banks and all financing companies have bad reviews because it's kind of the nature of the business. Does Tesla Financing have for Michigan residents? Yeah, I think so. I think Tesla Financing is in every state. I'm confused. It still says 5.59%. Yeah, it seems like some people are getting 4.49, but not everyone 100%. These rates are BS. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? The Fed raises the rates and we suffer to fix the economy at the end of the day, right? But thanks for jumping in, everyone. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button and all the comments. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. And definitely check out the links down below in the description if you want to support the channel. We've got Tesla part accessory discount links down below as well if you want to support. And thank you, everyone, for jumping in. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting the like button. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.